you have these two guys here. Eden's been created, uh, and you have a lot of these beings coming through in and out that they've been working with creating. So they started with cloning the existing hominid on this planet and using this cloning technique, which would create a worker, but then it would fail because the worker would die early, would die rapidly, and also the worker could not reproduce. Right? It's like trying to make a, trying to, once you made a donkey or a mule with a horse, the offspring can't have any babies. So whatever splicing technique they used to do this, the failure point was that they couldn't reproduce, and it was a lot of work to keep creating more and more of these offspring the manual way. So they came up with an idea. Their sister did actually. She said, "You know what? Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the baby to term myself." So that was the solution. So what she did was she took one of the hominids from the captured people that were in the Eden, right, in the laboratory. She took an egg out of the woman and added the essence to it, which means they probably genetically modified it or added some DNA or whatever they did. She made a zygote in modern terms, what we would call a zygote, inserted it into her womb during her menses, and then took the baby to full term, 10 months, according to the tablets, 10 months. And then Adam was born, the first genetically modified, what they called to perfection human being, Homo sapien. So, Homo sapien, people were already here. Millions of people were on this planet long before Adam even arrived. So, forget that Adam was first and Eve was first, and then they were, they had, no, there were people here already. And I covered that in the previous video. But to add credence to that, after Cain killed Abel, he told God that, which was really Enlil, that, the people out there are going to kill me. What people are out there? And he told them, no, they won't kill you. I put a mark on you so they know you're my boy. And by the way, when you get out there, you'll find your wife. So there were people already here. Many, many, many people. Adam was just one of the very first genetically modified to what they considered perfection because he can listen, he can obey, he can take command, he can handle the workload, and as well as he can reproduce. That was important to them. Okay. And so where we have the Garden of Eden situation is where Enlil comes back after some time. And while he's gone, though, but before he comes back, while he's gone, I'm sorry, he goes away. Before he comes back, Adam and Eve. And how do we get Eve? Well, they figured out that Adam was mating with these other splices that they had created, and it wasn't working. So they put him to sleep, and they took some of his DNA out of his bone, and they created Eve as a clone of him. And then they made it the two together, and she was able to get pregnant. However, they were in the Garden of Eden, which is an outdoor laboratory setting. They had timed mating sessions. It was like you were cattle. It was timed. It was okay. Now it's time for you to go mate. Okay, go back into your area. Things like that. And they started mating him and other people they had created like bucks, right? It's just like from the slavery times. Well, anyway, Adam and Eve are in the garden and they're talking to the serpent. Now, you have to remember in ancient times, the serpent represented wisdom, understanding, knowledge. It had nothing to do with evil. Anywhere you see a serpent depicted in ancient text, tablets, cylinder scrolls, papyruses, it's about wisdom and understanding. You see the two entwined snakes make the caduceus. That's for the medical industry, right? You still see hospitals today. It had to do with knowledge and wisdom, understanding. And so the snake that came into the garden was actually Enlil's brother, Enki. He felt bad for the humans, and he wanted to talk to Adam and Eve and let them know that they were nothing less than them. That they had the same consciousness, they had the same possibility of ascending to higher levels of consciousness and understanding. That they weren't animals, and that they themselves, who ruled over them, weren't even gods. That they themselves weren't even gods. Okay, pretty interesting. And what that did was that caused a firestorm in their brain. They were like, "Wait a minute, we are like you. We're not animals. We are conscious, sentient beings that have the capability to think, feel, and create our own decisions and have free will, just like you guys do." Yeah. Oh man, that's when the awakening happened, and that's when they started looking for clothes and everything else. That was the serpent. The serpent had nothing to do with a snake crawling on his belly and all this other crazy foolishness. When Enlil comes back, he obviously doesn't know this happened, which is interesting because I'm about to read some Bible quotes in a minute. He comes back and he realizes that something's changed with these two. They done woke up. Like they really woke up. They got on clothes. They understand that they're who they are now. Um, and so he gets pissed off. He gets pissed off at his brother because he realized his brother spoke too much. Right? He violated their little rule. Right? Don't engage with them and give them the wisdom and knowledge of who they really are. Just masquerade as a god so we can keep them under control. So what he does is he kicks Adam and Eve out of the garden. The reason why he kicks them out is because if he leaves them in the laboratory, their consciousness is going to infect the other people that they have in there that are prisoners for mating purposes and experimental purposes. They're going to affect they're going to destroy the whole experiment. We got to get them out of here. These people they're dangerous to the experiment. We're trying to make a doggone working army of slaves here. And this guy's he's going to send a conscious virus to every single one of these people, letting them know who they really are. And they're not going to want to work for us anymore. Plus, they outnumber us. So when they figure out that they have the power in them to do whatever they want, we're done. So that's why he kicked them out of the garden, right? And after he kicks them out, Adam tries to commit suicide a couple times right there in the river. It's all in the Apocrypha text. And so this is pretty incredible stuff that I'm telling you.
By Compendium of the Emerald Tablets by Billy Carson.